Welcome to this week's edition of Library Picker. I'm going to try not to talk too much this week because I've got this kind of asthma, allergy thing going on. And it's St. Louis, so I'm sure a lot of you have it going on this week too. But let's start by looking at our big new shipment of books. And while we're doing that, we'll listen to a little bit of library, I guess you would call it music.
3, 2, 1.
Now for us, that's a lot of books to come in at once, so we've got all new books today. We'll start in our historical fiction section, and on one of these bottom shelves, we've got 5 great books. We're going to focus on one on the right called The TIME TRAVELING FASHIONISTA. This one's about a high school girl who is really into vintage clothing, and she goes to this traveling dress show and tries on some of the dresses. Here's some illustrations from the inside of the book. She discovers that when she tries on one of these vintage dresses, she passes out and awakens in the body of the previous owner of the dress in some historical time period. This first book in a series, she wakes up on board the Titanic. Here's a picture from the inside of the ship. And she's got to figure out what to do. If you are into fashion, you're really going to like this book, regardless of whether you're into history or not. If you're not into fashion, this is not the book for you. Let's turn around and go over to our short story collection. We've got a great new one here I want to focus on. It's called, very simply, Smile. This is a graphic novel that got really good reviews, and it calls itself a dental drama. Here's part of the trailer. A lot of different school-related stuff in there, friendship-related stuff, family-related stuff. It's on our short story shelf. Let's spin around, excuse me, and we're going to look at our action and suspense area. A lot of great new books here, especially on some of these bottom shelves. We are going to focus on a book, you can't see the cover very well, but it's called Department 19. Here's part of the trailer.
Vampires are real. But you already knew that. You've read Dracula. You know it's all true. But here's what you don't know. He's still out there. And it's my job to track him down.
All right, secret government agency. Finding vampires. Let's move ahead. We're going to go out in the hallway and into the reading room because we've got some really great nonfiction books here that I want to take a look at. And here's one of my favorite new ones, How They Croaked. Now you might laugh at this title, but this book has got a lot of really good reviews behind it. Yes, it's about how 19 different famous people have died, from King Tut to Galileo to George Washington to Albert Einstein. So there's a lot of gore in here. If you don't like gore, don't read this book. But it's also a study in the history of medicine. So if you're interested in medicine or possibly becoming a doctor, this might be a great one to pick up. Little gory, little weird, but good book. Some other great nonfiction titles here, like Moby Duck. But we're going to focus on a book called Wicked Plants. Another one where you might look at the title and be like, what? But this is a good book, especially if you're into botany or if you just want some strange facts. Let's hear from the author.
When you're relaxing at home, you probably don't give much thought to the possibility of being struck dead by a dangerous plant. But there are criminals, murderers, and lowlifes of all kind in the plant kingdom. Some of them are in your own backyard. Sago palm. People love sago palms. You see them as houseplants, and they're all over gardens in the South. You know, they're pretty, they're sturdy, and just packed with carcinogens and neurotoxins. In fact, this is one of the top 10 most toxic houseplants for pets. Dogs like to chew on the plant, but that'll cause seizures, liver damage, and, well, death. Oh, yeah. Oh, monk's hood. Yeah, that'd do it. Sure. Oh, monk's hood. Looks good in the garden as long as you never touch it. It'll absorb into your skin and cause numbness and an irregular heartbeat. But swallow it and you'll be dead by dinner.
Wow, so books about real things can be pretty cool too, and this is a great one to pick up. So that's pretty much it for this week's episode of Library Picker. One thing I do wonder is what's going on in the library while I'm in the reading room. Dude, nice.